Hello all, this is the beginner guide for Dazi. This will be on the human portion of how to play humans, like what to do for the setup and for the final stand, and where you're supposed to hold at the beginning. This is for all new Dazi players. We'll start her up. So, this is usually you know what Warcraft 3 menus are like. I don't have to really explain that. Once the game starts, in the top left there's a Discord that you can join. I recommend joining that if you really like this game. And if you super love the game, there's a Patreon on the top right. And you can get Patreon to help pay and support for the creation of this game. So to begin with, every start of the game, you should be pressing F11. You can go up here to allies and click it, or on your keyboard, you can click it also. Up to you. And this your unit line, you want to click all these, especially if you're brand new. Okay? Make sure they're all clicked and make sure you press accept or else it won't work. If you do cancel, it will not do anything. So like that, see this? Cancel. They're not actually shared. So make sure you press accept. Some people make that mistake. So while you're doing that, the second thing is you should be picking your hero. I like to pick this hero. You can pick a skill, but make sure that it goes up to the shop. So all heroes, they should go to the shop first, and make sure you get some coins, some blinks. You can get some other items, but always make sure that your hero has a scroll. So if you've used a scroll, make sure you buy another one because you do not want your hero to die. Your hero is way more important than your town halls, okay? You want to make sure that they live for the entire game, and they should only die if you lose the game. And that, on a couple other exceptions, but that's pretty much it. So for the beginning, light blue will hold this slot, gray will hold here, and then he has a second one down here. Red will have to hold this wall. That's another video, all entirely. Orange will have to hold here and here. Or if you don't feel like that, you can go up to the sill and hold here, or go to the gate. Blue can hold here and here, and then purple holds here. There's a couple of variations to do that. That'll be a completely different video as well. I will show you about that later. And those will be all the final stands. So now into setting up your first time. So what I like to do is I like to grab all my units and put them around my front hold. Because I'm holding here, I'm going to bring all my units up here and then help sort them out afterwards. So just kind of collect them all, make sure I have all my items, because you definitely want to have all your items. And when you grab them all, sometime too will bring up their units because you will want these units, they help you out. Like this adept, they give you armor boost, they give you an extra 10 armor, and these mages slow down the zombies so they don't kill you as fast. So as you bring these guys up, these conscripts, I like to take them off to the side, and you will save them for later, or you will kill them. These archers, you're going to want to put them to the side here, so that they're out of the way. Like so. And here's your second choice, because first choice was picking your hero, which one you want to do. So your second choice is you can use all your good units, like these guys, these elite footmen. Everybody should have them, I believe. Or you can be using just these regular elite footmen, or just footmen. Personally, I like to use the footmen, just the regular ones. You can use the elite ones, but sometimes you lose them and they're more expensive to replace. And they're just a slightly little bit better, but they are a lot better for last stands. And now for your third choice, you can go for another, because you need 2 rows of melee. You can go for another set of shields, or you can go for pikemen, because they have 2 reach. And this will let you get more damage in. Personally, I like the more damage, but there's a lot more microing and control that you have to do when you do that, so that's up to you. And you pretty much have all the units placed. Like, you should get about this much done before the 1 minute's up. And then you kind of put everything where they should belong, or like a little bit more finesse. And then you're going to have to go through all the units. Make sure the crossbowmen are closer because they don't have as much range. They only have 700. Well, these other ones have 900. You want to have your flagmen placed around so that they give boost to everything. Have your heroes set up too. You can put them up in the front line if you want, but that's a little bit risky, but it's up to you. And that pretty much got the basics done. This isn't a complete good setup. I can do that, I guess, but pretty much you want to have all your archers on the side. You want to have 2 rows of melee. You want your melee in the back on the side so you can replace them and have all your priests in the back. And then have your kill units either with your priest or on the side with your archers, depending on where you're holding. And the kill units, they need to be somewhat close, same with the priest. I believe they have to be 4 units away. But that's pretty much the start of the game. You can move the priest around if you want. And as the game is going, these guys will die. So you're going to have to slowly, like, say this guy dies, he's just dead. So we'll get rid of him. Another big thing is that make sure that all your units are on hold, because that will happen. So after this guy dies, there'll be more zombies in here. I might do another video or remake this with zombies, but I don't have anyone to play as them. But you're going to have to push them back up. You're going to have to hold. And this is why you want the priest out of the way. It's because you're going to want to grab a new unit. It can be either a good one or a non-good one. And then you're going to want to replace them. And then just like that. And make sure that you use your shield, because that gives you 15% less damage from regular zombies. And that is a huge. Now you have your base all set up. This is the front line. You're going to want to now do control groups. So your priest should be on control group. Your hero, it's already on control group where you can make one yourself. And then you want all your archers to be in a control group. I don't really do melee as control groups, just the archers and priests or support, and then your hero. Your melee, you just kind of select them all and then move them back. So now I show you what you do when you fall back. You kind of select all your melee that are just lying around, not doing anything. They're free to move. These guys are fighting, they're about to die. You tell everybody B, B, B in the chat so that they know that you're trying to back, or you just tell them, or ping frantically because you're about to die. Make sure that all your archers are going back. So you want to make sure that the archers are back, usually about halfway to where you want to go because you don't want them to die. And then, if you want, you can bring conscripts in, but this is up to you. I personally don't do this most of the time. And as they're being brought in, you run on back your priests, and then wait for your conscripts to come up. These guys will be fighting. Your first row, like, usually when you're back, you're about to break anyways, so maybe some zombies have already broken through, maybe they haven't. These conscripts will slow them down so you can do the retreat. And now you can just back your hero just by himself, or if you're wanting to save these guys, like let's say you use good units, you can use your teleport staff or teleport scroll, and you'll bring 11 of these guys, and you will auto pick the best units out of them. Okay, he'll teleport them away, and now you saved all these guys, and that's probably about 1,500 gold that you just saved, and then you can send them up to the front line, and now you're do the whole process again. Put your archers on the side, have your melee up here, and then put your priests up. And that's the basics of Dazi. I will show you the final stands of all the colors in the tutorial or this guide. So for light blue, you kind of hold there. Green, don't really do some final stand, but if you do, you hold here with a 4 wide. Here's another 4 wide, and then your third 4 wide. And then if you have to fall back even more, there's a 6 wide. Teal up here, it's just a 4 wide. You can do the 6 wide if you want to protect the scenery, but it's up to you. And that will be a different video. Purple, he can hold the stairs for 2 wide, and here for a 4 wide. And then if he wants to, you can back up, and I believe this is a 6 or 5 wide. It's kind of hard because it's on a diagonal. Orange, he has 2 sides to hold. It's just 4 wide, but it's kind of harder. So you can hold up here too. It's a bit easier. And then have your range up here. And then you also have to hold this bottom here. This is another 4 wide. You can hold here. Or you can back up to here to 6 wide. It's up to you. For red, it's a bit more complicated because you can have a couple different ones. So you can be holding here, and then this here. He can be holding this and this. Because I like to hold this because it's a 2 wide. I do see a lot of players holding this or this because they're 4 wides, or sometimes even this. I don't know why. This 2 wide makes it a lot easier. You just have your archers all the way up here. You have your priests here. You have your melee and some heroes, and then you're all set. And you're good for that. And then last one is yellow. So for yellow, you have all your archers up here on the side. If you have plenty of melee, so sometimes like blue, he'll come back and give you melee all the way to yellow. You can set up one here, and then you can fall back to your second one, and then your third one as you back. And good thing is that you don't have to move all your archers. You just gotta move your support units, and then back your melee up. Or just push them and die, and then put a whole new fresh row up here and save your heroes. And then you can do a fourth one here, and then this is your final stand. And hopefully it doesn't come to that when you're yellow, because if it's coming to here, you're probably dead. And that will be the final stands, and that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be a lot more videos just like this for all the different colors, and they'll be coming out soon. I will see you next time. Peace out.